Hey, hi. How you doing? No, how are you doing? I'm Markus Pattern, and this is the return of the weekly ramble chat thing that I do, in which I tell you about how my day went instead of having to rely on writing a newsletter, which takes me forever and I don't like doing. So, figured I'd just talk into a microphone and tell you, it turns up, how shit went. So, how did it go indeed? Well, today is the 6th of October. Yeah, and I have some news. As you can tell, there is a cover on your screen. This is the cover for Here Comes the Dragon Punch issue 3, which is now up on my Patreon. Apparently, Patreon have got a new service where they just they got a digital shop version, so instead of you paying a subscription, buy it, you do it as a in you can instead of subscribing like I had done like a tier where you subscribe to that Here Comes the Dragon Punch, you can basically get yourself a like buy it digitally, like Gumroad of yore, except Gumroad doesn't want all my details and needs literally every bit of ID I could ever possibly have, not to steal and stick on the blockchain. So that's why you don't see my stuff in Gumroad, because I don't like it. So yeah, so 13 shots of whiskey issue 3 is up there now, and if you want to go pick up a copy, that'd be swell. I will be releasing the free to read chapters next Friday. So like the first, your first few of the Instagram swiping stories will be up on Friday, along with the webtoons and Substack and ArtStation. If you don't want to support the comic in any way, shape, or form, but do want to read it, as long as people watch it, that's the same as being a success. So in this issue, we have August taking part in a first proper like tournament match kind of thing, and against a proper opponent, the cat with the green hair here. Well, it doesn't make any. I was using my my mouse, so, but obviously you can't see my mouse on that screen. So August here will be facing Ruben here, and the second match will be this cat here, James, against this cat here, Rivers, and that's who will be fighting in this issue. Yeah, so that's who's fighting in this issue, and in a proper, in a step up from the fight in issue 2 was August's first proper match against Claire, but that's kind of like the indies and stuff. This is NX level of intrigue, a level where like kind of a step up, and it's their first time doing it, and yeah, we get to spend so we get a training montage, which is interesting to do in a comic, and we get to meet her parents, more of Rosie and Nora and stuff, and yeah, it's a pretty good fight, I'd say. I mean, I would say that. Yeah, the Ruben and Rivers were a lot of, well, Ruben especially was a lot of fun to design and stuff, and I go into it in the making of shenanigans on the Patreon, which is linked in down below and in the side. So yeah. So this is a two-parter. So like you'll find and I'm started working on issue 4 now, basically, and hopefully that will be up sooner than later. Yeah. And I will also be putting up another behind the scenes shenanigans post up on the Patreon and stuff, because essentially I felt it was kind of getting a little crowded and stuff with what I had put up, and also I hadn't realized that Patreon was doing this shop thing. So what I think I'll do from now on is I will put the digital issues up for sale on the shop, and you can and you can get you get the digital copy free if you're subscribed to the Here Comes the Dragon Punch tier. And then I'll just concentrate on putting more like the behind the scenes making of my thought processes in that. So I might just do that I might just update that periodically throughout the month, as opposed to doing it all in one go. So I think that's what I'm going to do next. So there's a couple of things I was going to stick in this month's release, but I thought the page is getting quite a bit cluttered, so I thought no, just let it breathe, because fuck it, no one subscribed to it anyway. I don't need to worry about sticking it all in one thing. So if you subscribe now, you're going to get the first 3 issues of Here Comes the Dragon Punch and a bunch of shenanigans, and if you and then in about a week or 2 you're going to get some more behind the scenes shenanigans, and then in about maybe 3 or 4 weeks you'll be getting the fourth issue of Here Comes a Dragon Punch before anybody else. Yeah. Yeah. That was a bit of a rant. So, again, if this is the first time you've come across me and you don't know who I am, which is highly likely, I don't know how this works. I'm Markus Pattern, and Here Comes the Dragon Punch is my ode to the comics that I grew up with when I was a kid, and the anime and the manga I did. So it's a lot of fighting, a lot of kung fu, a lot of basically like if TMT meets Naruto meets Street Fighter kind of thing, thrown in with my own quirky sense of humor. So you get like asides and baking, and I like drawing parkour. It's not quite so much of it in issue 3 because Omar isn't in it, but like I like draw, so like you get like quite a lot of that, a lot of acrobatic stuff, and also I really like drawing food, so it's a nice mixture of kung fu, parkour, and baking and cooking and stuff. So yeah, it's an all ages kind of comic, so it's not as dark and as bleak as say my other comic 13 Shots of Whiskey, which I have a bit more news on, which I'll get to later in the stream. It's available to read up on Webtoons and my ArtStation, and in my Substack newsletter thing. So yeah, that's where it's available to read. I'm doing quite a bit of experimenting with how I present comics as well. So like it's so it's a good, and it's the first proper color comic I've ever done. So like, and it's just a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun drawing it, and it would, I'm going to draw it anyway. But if you could read it, I'd take that as a sign of kindness. Yeah. So, in other slightly but disappointing news, I was at the Lakes International Comic and Art Festival last weekend. Hence the reason why you didn't get one of these lovely little ramble chats last weekend. And yeah, the Lakes, as you can imagine, is a truly lovely place to be. The scenery was gorgeous, when it wasn't fucking raining. Everybody in the tent was an absolute delight. No one was rude or awkward. No one was rude to me and stuff. And it was and everyone was nice kind of camaraderie. And it would have been nice if there were some more customers, basically. Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't know how you would classify it as a success when it wasn't. I think one of the main problems was the fact that if they were hosting it this weekend when we're in for a fucking heat wave, I'm pretty certain it would have been a success. Also, the Tories wouldn't have been having their little conference in Manchester, and the rail people wouldn't have had a bloody strike. So, and the weather would have, so all these things kind of conspired into the fact that, like, the footfall was pretty poor. But I did learn a lot of things, like we were in a marquee, a tent. Last convention I did was in a hall with a roof, and all the other conventions I've been to, not that many, have had roofs that don't drip water on your fucking table, which means that all your stock can't be fucking out on display because it'll get wet. Which was like, well, that's a fucking revelation. So basically, I was, but on the positive side, looking around, seeing my fellow exhibitors, I picked up some quite cool ideas, some quite cool things to do. So the next convention I do wasn't so bad it put me off. I'm going to basically rearrange my table. And if you saw me at the lakes and you see me anywhere else, you'll see, he learnt his lessons. Like, loads of people had like a banner and stuff, and for some reason I just generally thought that these things were like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Apparently they're 28 quid. So I'm going to be getting me one of them. Hopefully by the time the next convention I have there'll be the Tanglebond out, so I don't have to have, so that'd be a bit more another way of displaying stuff. And like there's a good thing about dead zoning your table, where like basically obviously you're to one side, but you're not, but if a customer just wants to peruse, they can. And essentially, one of the cats beside me had like a crate with his prints in that you could flip through. So like, which is like flipping through vinyl and stuff. And a couple other people had it, and it just never occurred to me. So that's the next thing I'll be doing there, and I'll be having a better display and everything. So like the next one of these will hopefully, by the way the table's laid out, be a success. Financially, who bloody knows. So that was the lakes. Beautiful, like in terms of like the actual, the Baron and Windermere or whatever. Like, I was watching this Who Do You Think You Are? And Greg Davis was there, and he was looking out over the countryside, and it was rolling hills, but essentially it was just a bunch of fields. Like, and he goes, it's God's own country. And I'm like, and I don't like the countryside in any way, shape, or form. And I hate the northeast, because I used to live there. So, but even I could tell that was not in any way, shape, or form God's own country. I've driven through not nice parts of the arsehole of the country, and it looks way better than what he was looking at. But being by Windermere, looking out at this glorious vista, being surrounded by mountains and everything, I don't believe in a God, not to put that out there, but if there was to be one, this is what they would create to reward us for being around. Because it was truly beautiful, breathtaking view. And I think if I do this convention again, which is a big if, I would, instead of treating it like it's a business venture, there's no way I was going to make any money back on this, I would treat it as like a family holiday. Like, I would take my wife and my kid, and we'd go there for a few days. My brother and sister helped out at the convention as well, so much love to them and thanks to them. And I'm guessing they're willing to do it on all the time. So I would treat it as like a family vacation, in which, like, I would take my family down there. I would table for the 2 days, and then my brother and sister would swap hanging out with my wife and my kid. And then it would be a joyous experience, as opposed to like, well, this is a waste of bloody money. There was nothing to be gained from this. Which, as beautiful as it was and as friendly as it was, like to basically just make my travel back is not a success. as well as learning how to set up a table properly and getting some real good ideas on how to do it properly, as opposed to like kind of futzing it, to do it absolutely spot on well. I also had quite a lot of time to sit and think about myself, and one of the like 13 Shots of Whiskey is the first comic I did off my own back, and and like as an artiste, I can't stand it because it's old darling, but like no one seemed to give a shit about it when I tried releasing it. So I was like, that's why I pivoted towards Here Comes the Dragon Punch. But on the table, more people were interested in that than they were in Here Comes the Dragon Punch. And maybe because the 30 Shots of Whiskey is presents as a proper comic book, and Here Comes the Dragon Punch is an A5 book. And that would work better as a tankobon, but not quite so well as an individual issue. I think that might be the case there. Anywho, so I was like, well, if you want me to do another issue, if you want me to do another 30 Shots of Whiskey, well, I need to be in a different headspace, like, because it's a dark and dank and heavy series by design, and I quite like being in Here Comes the Dragon Punch because it's lighter and stuff, and I don't have to be like kind of miserable and stuff. But I was miserable for 3 hours because I had also, while going foraging for cheese, fell and hurt myself, so I was in a really bad mood. So I plotted and constructed and all but wrote the a third issue of 13 Shots of Whiskey. And because we're in the middle of October, I was thinking, well, I could do that for a live stream. Like I draw digitally, but I like to experiment and stuff. And I like the idea of doing digital pencils, printing them off on the backside of the paper, light boxing it, and then inking over that. Sounds like quite a cool idea to do. So for the next 13 Shots of Whiskey, and if you find me doing live streams on here, especially for Inktober, that will be what I'll be concentrating on next. So in the evenings, I will be inking pages from 13 Shots of Whiskey issue 3. So that it's going to be going to be a Christmas issue. So I've got 2 months to do it in, and in which instead of being set in the Western and the 50s, it's going to be set in the 90s, and we're going to be introduced to Mrs. Lennox, a character I've been fussing around with for the better part of... When did I go to Turkey? For the better part of 7 or 8 years. She's been percolated in me old noggin, and now I have a story and the skills to put her in a comic. So that's what's going to be happening next. While during the day I will be working on the 4th issue of Here Comes the Dragon Punch. So that's what's happening next. I'm apparently, I don't know, this might be a bad or good idea. I'm going to attempt to draw 2 comics at the go, because I am John Romita Jr. I'm not, but So, in theory, here got 30 Shots of Whiskey issue 3 could, in theory, be out for Christmas. Issue 4 definitely be out for Christmas, and in theory, the Tankobon should be out then as well. Like I'm aiming to release the Tankobon as a Christmas gift. So yeah, the first 4 issues of Here Comes the Dragon Punch. Plus, I think I might do an additional couple pages of comic in there, because I want to basically, and some behind the scenes futzing and stuff. And my aim is to get that released for Christmas, so to have like a Christmas gift. My aim was also to make some money at this festival, so I could then put that towards the Tankobon, because I don't want to go via Kickstarter. I don't really want to go via Zoop neither, because I don't want to put something up there and it doesn't get released, because that's what happened with last time I was on Kickstarter, and it put such a bad taste in my motherfucking mouth that like it made me not want to carry on with what I was working on. You know, I know it's petty and stuff, but you know, it's how it is. You know, so I'd much rather sell some stuff, put that towards the tanker bond, and just because I know how much it's going to cost, because the work's done. All I need to do is print it. The print run is only going to be like 100, and it isn't going to be an insurmountable amount of money for me to use. I don't have it, and it would be nice to earn it. So what I'm going to do is, as you can tell, this little thing in the back here, this is called A Not So Fair Fairy Tales. It's the first anthology I was ever in. It is a beast of basically what happened is this, like there was it's a retelling of a bunch of different fairy tales with some grimmer endings and stuff. I tackled Hansel and Gretel I tackled Hansel and Gretel, and my writer was, see how long it's been since I'd done this. I've worked on lots of times. Sorry, I'm really bad at names. So, wrote this obviously. I drew this and coloured it. So it's the first bit of colouring I've ever done for a comic as well. Because like I wasn't expecting to do it, and then they said, "Oh, you know, why haven't you coloured it?" Because like, am I meant to? Quite a few of these anthologies, by the way, just like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna colour it, are you?" I guess so. Like, you know, I'm not finding the colourists to basically do it for free. So I coloured it. I did everything on the artwork. It was written by Andrew Russell Burkett and lettered by Dave Hingley. And even though this is some bare old work, I think it holds up relatively well. And that page there, I think, is a page I am still proud of in terms of cartooning. Just like kind of the beat. I'm pretty proud of that. Which is great, because looking back at old works of mine, I'm never proud of it, I'm never happy with it, and it hurts my soul to think that I could even be so shit. Because, again, capital A, artiste. So, that is normally 45 quid. I don't want to lug it to any more conventions, because while it is a beautiful book, it's a heavy fucking book. So what's going to happen is, in a week's time, so next week, I'm going to be sticking that up on Etsy for 25 quid, including free postage and packaging to the UK. I'm going to have to figure out how much it will cost to send to the wider world, because this is a heavy book, so like, you know, it won't be cheap. And yeah, so basically on this, I've got 8 copies of this left. So and going to be up on Etsy, 25 quid. And I might even throw in a free sketch if you ask me nicely. And yeah, and I need to get shot of this so I can then fund the tanker bond and stuff. So yeah, there's loads of stories in here. I think it's about like 20 or something like that. So and loads of really, really cool artists and stuff. All of which will be listed on the Etsy listing, and I probably should, yeah. Oh, I basically that's what's going to happen. I will probably release like a short video about it on the old YouTube. I might probably do a TikTok thing, but that would be, you know, but for the next few, hopefully only for the next few months, whenever I come up with this thing, you'll be like, hey, buy this. Yeah. Also, what I did, also what will be coming up on Etsy in about in a week's time too. I'm just going to basically drop a bunch of stuff in about a week and everything. I'll give me enough time to, instead of rushing the Etsy listings and the SEOs and stuff, I can properly think about it. I'm going to be putting the prints up from up as well. So the story behind the prints is essentially my sister wanted me to draw a bunch of stickers, and I was like, well, what do you want me to draw? And she goes, well, I like it when you do your half and half, like when you like it half a normal face, half Lovecraftian tentacle monster thing. Could you do that for me? And I was like, well, yeah. Well, how should we approach it? And I was, well, what means the most to us as a family and stuff, So the fish, zodiac-y and stuff, and they're not necessarily, just like they're not, sort of, I've got a tattoo of a koi cup on my arm to represent my wife, my mum, and my sister. So that's what this print represents. This is the three most important women in my life, plus Graham, who is not a woman, but is very important to me. And yeah, that's what this I'm a Capricorn, and greatest of all time, so a goat amused me, and I dare say, like the rage and the anger in me is knotting up and will lead me to an early grave via stomach cancer, probably. So hence the reason for the gnarliness. My dad's a lion. He's the Mufasa, basically. Obviously not, because he's not James Old, as you can tell. Well, how cool would that be? But yeah, my dad's a Leo. My brother is really into Nordic stuff. That's one of his big things, and we all like so Odin and the Ravens. So it's like a no-brainer for him. Like this would be right up his street, And luckily he liked it, My sister is a horsey. She when we were growing up, she liked to ride lots. I remember her riding lots of horses and stuff, and it seemed to be like a thing. And it certainly wasn't me who was into My Little Pony in a massive way that made my mum worry. Less tolerant times, and also she loves Lovecraft, so hence the reason for like the Lovecraftian anime-esque noise on the other side. So that's basically, these are like to represent my family while also being stickers, prints, Lovecraftian horror meshes and stuff. So these will be available as the prints you see now, as well as stickers. I've set up a print. I've set up like a print on demand for the t-shirts, because I don't know if you can tell, I don't have enough room, nor do I know how many t-shirts you specifically want to justify printing off a bunch of t-shirts. So that will be handled by print. I'm trying to be light with it too. Thing is, I'm what do you mean you're unstable? So I just realised this thing is saying fucking sigh. So I've just looked at the Twitch stream, so that it's saying it's unstable, but like I'm literally right next to my router, so I have no idea what's going on there. Fuck it. I guess I'll sign off soon. Alright, so yeah, the prints and everything to fund the Tankabon, which will be out hopefully will be out for Christmas and stuff. I'm aiming for like a late November, early December release. Time for Christmas gifts and all that noise. So yeah. So I don't know what's going on here. Why has everything got to be so fucking shit? All right. Okay. Right. Well, I guess I guess my stream is getting piss poor. So hopefully that wasn't for the entire stream. Um, I guess I'm going to give call it stuff like I've basically been doing like lettering and stuff and shit that's basically not that fun for you to watch and stuff. But I'll get back onto the live streaming artwork soon. Yeah. Sorry if this has been buffering. I've been Markus Pattern. 13. Here Comes the Dragon Punch issue 3 is out now. Not So Fair Tales and the Zodiac Prince will be up on Etsy in a week. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely day. Have yourself a tip-top day full of cheer, wonder, and dare I say, good times. Bye.